one of the best way we can use conscious information analysis is to change our behavior, how we respond to things, because behavior is all about the information that we receive, and understanding, processing, analyzing that information, and creating a response based on that information. So, if we keep receiving an information in the same way for a long time, it becomes an habitual pattern. It becomes a habit, right? Suppose you think, imagine you go to your uncle's home, and he's a smoker, and for the first time when he gives you that smoking, you ignored, or you resisted. You know the implications of smoking, but when he showed it to you and he gave it to you, you couldn't resist. Sometimes you just, okay, you gave in to that temptation and you smoked. And it felt great. And okay, you didn't have a habit yet. You didn't have that, behavioral pattern. So for the just a few days back later, you met your friends, and they were smoking when you went there, and you took two or three puffs, and it was just fun, and you really did have some fun and came home. And as you just progressed this path, just following that habitual pattern slowly, one by one, as one step at a time, you take a huge leap of habitual pattern. So as you go on, as you continue smoking, it becomes a habitual pattern, which is quite difficult to be erased. And now it becomes so strong. Now you automatically, whenever you see something, for example, you see a packet of cigarette, and your brain knows exactly what it is, okay, and it also knows how to respond to that stimuli, because you have done it over and over and over again, and it becomes a habitual pattern. You have formed a neural pathway in your brain. So now you're not controlled. Now you are automatically or unconsciously controlled by this behavioral pattern. And so it becomes your habit, and now you are addicted to smoking. You can't get out of that pattern, because you don't know how, for example, most of the times when you feel like smoking, you don't know what causes you, because you're unaware of the information that you're receiving, and you're unaware how you respond. So usually when you feel like smoking, what do? You just unconsciously take a cigarette from your pack, from the scissors or from the cigarette packet, and then smokes it, right? You're not really aware. Okay, so you want to get rid of that habit, but still, when that time comes, when you feel like smoking, you can't just resist, because that pattern of behavior is so strong that is unbreakable. You can't break it somehow. But using CIA, a conscious information analysis, we can literally break this pattern of behavior. What we do in our workshop, when we help people to break these habits that are so addictive, is we help people to first aware of the information that they receive. So we help them to identify the cues, whenever they are triggered, and then we help them to choose the possibilities. So for example, imagine you are smoking, and normally when you smoke, you're not aware that your body is so, your body needs that smoking so badly, because your brain craves that chemicals that it gets when you smoke. You're not truly aware, and you're not truly aware of the implications, or how it affects your body, how it affects your lungs, how it affects your brain, how it affects your your total body. because you're unaware right now. Okay, so and since you are, because these informations that you receive, the stimuli that you receive is automatically controlled. They are, once they reaches the your brain, it is interpreted automatically, and it goes to directly, it goes to the the response center, and you immediately responded to it, right? Your response is not in your hand. It's like something, it's like your freedom has been taken from you. So I know how it feels like, because I was once addicted to smoking, and whenever I would sleep, before I would sleep, I needed around 6 or 7 of cigarettes. I needed that, because normally when I would sleep, it would take me around half an hour or 45 minutes. So what would I do is I would just keep smoking, keep smoking until I fell asleep. And it was an addictive behavior, and I find it quite difficult to get out of that habitual pattern. But using CIA, conscious information analysis, we can literally find out these cues, how these informations are interpreted in our brain, and based on that interpretation, how it is responded. And once how these things happen, or this interpretation happens, you can also you can also intervene with your habits, because CIA is about conscious information analysis. It's about becoming conscious. So what you do is, in our workshop, what we do is, we help people to become conscious of their behavior, and then we help them to choose the best possibilities that are out there. Most of the times when we get addicted to something, we are unaware. That's one thing. And second one is, we don't see any other possibilities, besides smoking. For example, imagine you are in a difficult situation, and you love smoking, and you are a good smoker, and you're in a difficult situation. I mean, difficult situation means, maybe a stress, maybe, just some kind of mental problems, or maybe sometimes, you have a lot of trouble at your home or at your office. So the immediate reaction would be to smoke, because it will relieve you, right? So you just take a packet, one cigarette, and a smoke, and you do that automatically, because you're not aware, because that cue of this tension, this stress, once you know that you are stressed, your immediate reaction, the habitual pattern of that reaction is to smoke. So you're unconsciously controlled by your automatic system, your the neural pathways. So the best way is to rewire, or to create better pathways, better habitual patterns. And the thing about these habitual patterns is, and neural pathway is, there is a saying in in the scientific community that the neurons that fire together will wire together. And if you keep firing that a new pattern, if you keep just following a new pattern, you are actually literally creating a new pathway, new neural pathway, and thereby decaying, otherwise withering, decaying the old pattern. So because you're not using that, right? So we help people to become conscious of their own behavior, and then we help them to become the choice maker of their life. So we literally have a lot of choices, but most of the times we are not really aware of the choice, because feeling this craving, this information, the habitual pattern, that pathway is so strong that just like, for example, imagine you're going through a highway in a 200 kilometer speed, and you're not truly aware of the small pathways, or small path or roads that are, going in different directions. You're not aware because you're going into that through that highway road, and it's so fast, and it road is really excellent because it's a highway. And if you keep going that 200 kilometers, no matter, even if you have seen other patterns, you don't recognize, you don't feel like you just, stopping there and going that way. You don't feel like doing it because you are on a path, right? So that's exactly what happens when we are addicted to a certain behavior. So, but with the CIA, or conscious information analysis, we can literally change any behavior, and redesign our life.